Support for this episode has been provided by George Washington's Mount Vernon. Offering 160 wide-open, wanderable acres, Mount Vernon invites you to connect with over 200 years of history. Far more than a mansion, the first president's estate is home to 4 picturesque gardens and shaded woodland trails, even a cruise of the Potomac River. Visit mountvernon.org to learn more. To save 20% on tickets, use promo code OPEN.
If you love scratchers from the Virginia Lottery, you'll love the High Roller Blackjack Scratcher with a chance to win up to 10 times your prize. Look for it at your favorite Virginia Lottery retailer. In fact, you can drive there right now. Now that's an everyday win. Odds of winning any prize, 1 in 4.16.
Welcome to the Inspirational Living Podcast. Today's reading was edited and adapted from The Crown of Individuality by William George Jordan, published in 1909. When walking along a mountain trail, there is sometimes a sudden sharp turn where, by seeming magic, the narrow path is transformed into the entrance of a vast panorama of nature. We are stunned as we involuntarily stop short, rest and surrender to its majesty. The view exalts us, glorifies us, inspires us. We have a new high restful ground of contemplation. We have a new test of values, a new base of interpretation, a new relation to life. The towns and villages in the valley bear a new strange dignity. They have become integral parts of a great picture. The colors of trees and flowers blend from mere single effects into a wondrous harmony. We see the birth, life, and death of a stream, as an eagle might watch it from her nest on the crags. And the fields of 100 farmers become one great farm. The complex has become simple. The absolute has now become relative. The isolated associated. The trifling great, and the great greater. The detail, losing none of its individuality, has an added value like a jewel set in a crown. There is a finer sense of justice in our judgment. The atmosphere of the higher levels seems a tonic to our soul, and a sweet peace fills our heart. As we look backward, the narrow path, doled out to us in installments as our weary feet toiled up the long ascent, now stands out visible for its entire length. We begin to see it as a metaphor of our whole life, as the angels must view it with greater charity from their higher wisdom of their true perspective. Rest, retrospection, realization, and revelation are giving us a fine new viewpoint, a new chance to get our moral bearings, to tune our life to bring out its highest, purest notes at the turn of the road. Humanity tends to take narrow views of life and its problems, instead of great, broad sweeps. It is this nearsightedness of the soul that permits the unworthy to throw the really big things into the shadow. We hold some trifle of care or worry close to our vision, like a jeweler inspecting the workings of a watch. We let one sorrow be the grave of many joys, one ingratitude smother many kindnesses, one weakness sap the strength from many virtues. We need the bracing inspiration, the revealing illumination of the larger vision. But the turn of the road, in its highest sense, is not a place to stay. It is only a storehouse of supply, not a battlefield of action. We have to fight the battle of life. The beginning of a new year is a natural sharp turn in the road of time. Here we may wisely rest a while, and in the peace, quiet, and calm of self-communion, see the long stretch of the road of a single year. It is built of the short steps of living from moment to moment. Many of the purposes for which we labored and struggled in our narrow self-absorption now seem poor, petty, and puny when seen from the turn of the road. The edifice of some effort we thought marble now is shown to be a sham, a hasty affair of show and pretense, made of material that could not stand the wear and tear and the test of time. It was not built on the square lines of character, of the best that was within us. It lacked strength, sincerity, simplicity. The material was made up of policy and selfishness put together on hurried plans. It was a failure. It cannot be rebuilt, but it is worth only a passing regret and the realization of the lesson it had to teach us at the turn of the road. It is here that we can now see how many times the paralyzing hand of procrastination touched the good deeds we meant to do, the rosy dreams we longed to transform into reality. We wished to do, and we wanted to do, but we did not will to do. The fault was not in conditions, but in us. We were not equal to the opportunities. It is a false philosophy that teaches that opportunity calls only once at a person's door. It comes with the persistency of a dogged creditor, always in a new guise and clamoring for admission, but we often are too busy to answer the bell. Bad habits that we had determined to master, to bring into sweet harmony with our highest self, may loom large before us. They may seem to taunt us that they are stronger than we. Such habits were not made in a day, and cannot be mastered in a day. An hour may begin the making of a habit, and an hour may begin its breaking. Time, with heart and mind united in determination, can conquer any bad habit, or create and confirm any good one. The look backward from the turn of the road should inspire us by making vivid how much of what we feared never came to pass. The tyranny of worry that dominated us and held us for months like trembling slaves to a weak fear, that dissipated our energy, dulled our thinking, and darkened our mental vision, at the very hours that should have given us fullest control of our best, is now seen as an enemy to true individual growth, and it means a harder fight in the unending battle against worry and grief. The broader view of life reveals that the great things in life are made of trifles, that what pained us most, saddened our hearts, and turned our hopes to ashes, were only trifles accumulating into overwhelming importance. A cruel word, an unkindness, a little misunderstanding, may darken a day and separate us from everyone we love, or may petrify us into a mood of doubt and despair. Likewise, the most joyous moments of life, the highlights in the pictures of memory, may too be only trifles of kindness, fine expressions of love, simple tributes of confidence and trust that make the very heart smile as we remember them. Knowing what is right is useless unless we practice it. Realizing our weakness is profitless unless we seek to change. We may even grow so comfortably reconciled to faults and failings as to accept them as finalities, to confess them and even boast about them. Some people treat their faults as though they were flaws in the Grecian urn of a noble nature, and as if pointing them out were practically banishing them forever. This is unjust to themselves and unjust to others. Nature is constantly giving us new turns of the road. It may be a birthday or some general anniversary. It may be some red-letter day in the private calendar of our emotions, or some date signifying a joyous first or a pathetic last time in the sacred diary of the heart. It may be a supreme sorrow, an agonizing sense of loss, the coming of a great joy, the closing of some epoch in our lives, the proving of something too awful for us even to have feared, or some exultant half-hour that changes irrevocably all our living. These and numberless other days, hours, or single moments may bring us alone to the turn of the road. Then may come one of those rare moments of life, of fine spiritual discernment, of luminous revelation, of a coming to one's highest self, when the sordid, mean, temporary, and selfish are stripped in an instant of their garish shams and tinsel. Then the real, the true, the eternal stand out in their majesty, bathed in the splendor and glow of a revealing truth. In such a spirit we are filled with a jolt of inspiration from the infinite. We seem born again to new, better, and greater things, for we have seen the divine vision at the turn of the road.
Be the candidate investment firms are looking to hire. Become a CFA charter holder. Stand out for having the skills to thrive in the competitive investment industry. Visit cfainstitute.org/learn to find out more about the Level 1 CFA exam.
If you love scratches from the Virginia Lottery, you'll love the High Roller Blackjack Scratcher with a chance to win up to 10 times your prize. Look for it at your favorite Virginia Lottery retailer. In fact, you can drive there right now. Now that's an everyday win. Odds of winning any prize, 1 in 4.16.